The problem is that at some point those experiments end, right? Because Sasquatch retrieves Mary and Dad from what we used to call the dirt coffin from season 2, season 3, and they go back to the real mothership on the island, and this is before the simulator, right? Season 2, season 3. Back at the mothership with Sasquatch, and he's discovered. She's discovered. Actually, it's a he at the time because they didn't ask. And at that point, you really don't hear much about Oznog anymore. And also, Mary and Dad don't leave the vicinity of the mothership. So the bedrock walls, you're not really sure, well, what happened with that? Well, in reality, that stuff would have sort of dissolved and disappeared. But where I think the Oznog thread can come back in is that the villagers, which are maybe a hive mind or like a collective group that all has the same same mental state, like they can all share common knowledge and communicate telepathically with one another and also with others, as we saw when they communicated with Mary and Dad in the season 3, I believe. 2 and 3, I should say. Primarily 2. The idea is that these creatures, when this experiment goes awry or ends at some point, that some of them maybe perhaps make their way back to the real world before the experiment ends. And so now the experiments over the bedrock walls go away. We just have a regular island, but maybe we have 1 or 2 little Oznogs left. And then maybe they get in a boat and they go travel somewhere and they land here, right? And this is, of course, after Sasquatch has been captured by, this would have been after the experiments were over. Mary and Dad are back. Now they're in the simulator. All this Oznog stuff could happen at any time after that. And so, essentially, they're sort of like an escaped creature in a lab experiment that gets out into the real world. And that's kind of where I think we're headed with this, is that they are literally real in the real world that Mary and Dad are in. Because remember, this is the real world with Sasquatch and etc. This is an exterior island where the Sasquatch folks live that was only talked about in vague terms back in the beginning of the show. So we've hopefully put all those pieces together, and what you've got for your homework is I want you guys to comment on, well, what's going to happen at the village? Mary and Dad are like, whoa, there's a village here. There's a bunch of Oznogs. What happens? How does this connect to Sas Village? Splice is back at the mothership, and clearly in Season 12, Episode 2, you hear the static. He's about to get a call, probably from Eliza on the grav comm. And Eliza is in the lab, and maybe she's with someone, and she says something like, I've got someone here that wants to talk to you. And Splice is like, what the heck? And she's like, he says his name is Oznog. Now, that's a possibility, but there's other possibilities. That's where you guys come in. Think of something crazy and weird and comment and let us know, because we could probably fold it into the season. And then see Season 2 if you're not familiar with this whole Oznog discussion. And the big question, at least for the village, is... There are 2 big questions, really. One is, how did this village get here? Why are the Oznogs in the real world instead of just in some sort of digital simulator or some illusionary, semi-illusionary experiment? And then the ultimate question that goes beyond that is what's listed here, which is, how does this village, or how does this set of episodes, how is it going to get us to Sas Village? Now, I have a comment or 2 on that, which I'm going to talk about. And basically, as Sasquatch has said many times, that Sas Village is north of here, right? So we know that if we keep going to the north, oh, look at that, that we're going to wind up at Sas Village. And I don't really want to go there, but it's pretty much in this direction, okay? And if you remember, Team Manchua made this for us, and Nick helped as well. Nate, sorry, Nick. Naruto Bleach 1998. Nate helped as well make the Sasquatch village that we will eventually see as we head north. So my feeling is that Batch 2 is going to cover us helping the villagers and discovering more about their story. regardless of what happens to Splice and what happens to Eliza. All those variables could change. But one thing we know for sure is that Mary and Dad, at the end of episode 3, they're up here and bang, they discover a village. All right, so we need to go through the process of what's at the village. How does that impact the storyline? Why are they here? How can we help them? Maybe there's there's always needs to be drama, some sort of plot device that furthers the story. So we come here, maybe Oznog talks to us, or maybe it's not Oznog, maybe it's Boznog or Foznog. It's maybe they all have different names with different maybe they're all named Oznog with different first letters. You could do something like that, or maybe they're all Oznog, and that would be another thing. Again, a hive collective mind. So we come here, we help them, and then maybe as a result, they're able to tell us more about Sasquatch Village and the condition it's in as a result of the Lax Jerk guys depopulating the village, right? Because the Lax Jerk folks who kidnapped Sasquatch kidnapped a whole bunch of other Sasquatch, as you've seen in all the previous episodes where the pilots are talking to LJ Control, which is their home base. And so there's all these different factors coming into play that are going to be related. So Oznog somehow is going to relate to the village. The village clearly relates to Lax Jerk. And basically, at some point, maybe in batch 3, we get to where we need. The villagers are safe, or whatever plot item that they need resolved is resolved. We head to the north in batch 3. We discover maybe something that is a clue that the villagers were able to help us with, and that helps us maybe free or somehow find these remnant Sasquatches that are left over from the Lax Jerk invasion. So again, obviously a lot of spoilers here, but we felt like with season 12 we wanted to do something that we were unable to do in previous seasons, which is take enough time to let you guys watch things like this so that you could actually help, not just comment after the fact, but comment up front. So that's kind of what this homework session, if you want to call it that, I guess it's like MADMA University, Dr. Dave's MADMA lecture. All right, so I guess that's it for today's lecture, and we hope you enjoy MADMA Season 12. Obviously, it's a little slower than previous seasons, but we felt like it was better to take each batch one at a time, like we always do, but instead insert individual sort of lessons or discussions, if you will, ways to get you guys involved in between each of those batches. Now, go to dadsRfunny.com to see the schedule, which is a little bit more in flux than most seasons because of what we're doing. And I guess that's it. So I want to hear what you think about these notes. I'm going to put them in the, matter of fact, I'm just going to use my mouse here. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the video description in case you can't see it on Twitch or in case you're just watching it on YouTube for the first time. And I feel like I can actually talk without coughing, so I guess I must be getting better. And so for those of you who knew we were kind of sick, I appreciate your comments and get well wishes. We, all 4 of us, dad, mom, 2 kids, all of us sick. Actually, 2 of us more than once. So we've really had no chance to really do much of anything. And so our break is a little longer than we would have liked. But we hope you enjoy this little lecture. And we look forward to your comments. And instead of just commenting on how something might be cool to do in the future, you can take advantage of this episode. You can take advantage of this lecture and help us by commenting in advance and possibly getting some ideas and fresh commentary built in on the front end of these next episodes. All right, so that's it for me, Dave from dadsRfunny, and I will basically end it here and say thanks to you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.